It's really not doing it. Good morning. Welcome to the Uncle Fred and TK show. I'm your boy, Uncle Fred, with my main man, TK. How you doing today, man?
What's up, everybody? How you doing, man? Let's talk some NFL.
Yeah, we're going with NFL week 7 pick'ems. I went back and cracked the numbers last night as I was doing my show prep. We both went 10. We both went 11-6, man.
Okay, including
we picked that snoozer on Thursday night in our last week's games, and we're gonna pick the next week Thursday game with this week. So each week we'll have 17 games, which is kind of good because it's a 17 week season. So it'll be like whatever. So whatever our week things will be like what our record would be at the end of the season if we had a good season. Incidentally, the week before, I think I went 13-4, and I think you went 10-7, I think, or something like that. So we're off to a pretty good start. And week 6, we got several big games this week, man. Games that folks been talking about all week, man. The daggum bad blood is spewing. Sometimes some good stuff is being spewed and whatnot. So let's just go ahead and get into them. I'll let you take a look. You got the docket in front of you. Let's go with the early games. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we got.
Okay, that's fine, man. So first up, I have here on my docket San Fran at Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah, Atlanta's got hit with the injury bug on offense. I think this might be the beginning of Atlanta phasing out of stiff competition week to week. I think this might be the game that, sort of triggers that. You could argue that last week initially, but then, they kind of started to figure things out, and then we all know what happened as far as the egregious call. No need to get into all of that, but
TK, don't make me blow a gasket early in this thing.
Nah.
Don't make me blow a gasket, man.
We all know that was that. So, but on the football field tomorrow, San Fran all day. I think this is the opportunity for that San Francisco offense to really get going. There's obviously the Kyle Shanahan connection to Atlanta. I don't deal with that than you do. Pretty sure he'll want to put on a good showing in that regard. I think Debo gets a lot more involved this week than he was last week in the offense. And I think San Fran, I don't ever really want to predict blowouts either. I know most people don't. So I'm in that camp, but I think San Fran there's a chance they might run away with this one. But I definitely have San Francisco.
All right. Let me ask this, and I'll apologize that I didn't get a chance to do all of my, I'm not gonna say I'm never prepared, but I didn't do an injury report. Usually I have an injury report at my disposal. So when I do my picks, I'm talking from an educated perspective, and I kind of somewhat know what I'm talking about, and what I predict is somewhat gonna come somewhat close to a reality because you know who's playing, who's not. Any word on Kyle Pitts and or Cordero Patterson?
Cordero's on IR, so he's not there. And Kyle Pitts was limited in practice, so it's a good chance he probably won't suit up. Hence the injury bug. 2 vital parts of their offense they missed last week. Probably gonna miss them this week. I think San Fran control this game.
Yeah, that was gonna be my saving grace for them. To stay in the game and keep the game, stay connected, because the talent gap is somewhat. San Francisco has got a nasty defense. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Their defense is lethal. Okay, you can ask Baker Mayfield what their defense is like. Ask some of the other teams they played. Ask Matt Stafford what their defense is like. Their defense is lethal, and when you got an offense, you got I don't know how big folks feel about Mariota. I think he's got talent, but there's always been just a little something kind of like not quite there with him. And I know you know well about that because, he played for your Titans for years, picked him in the draft out of Oregon. So I know you know him intimately in that regard. So, and so what I'm saying is that a defense is sound fundamentally and ferocious and physical as San Francisco's is. And then you coming into the game sort of limping. I don't look for Atlanta to keep this game close, but to my surprise, Atlanta has kept games close. Last week they would have won, maybe had Jerome Boger not been, given an envelope. Okay, I didn't say that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But anywho, I got San Fran in that one, probably about a touchdown. So we're going to the next game. Not much to say about that one.
All right, next up we got New England at Cleveland. Cleveland knows how to blow a game. Granted, I think I called that last week. Honestly, man, in those Chargers games, there's always now on many of them the Chargers are on the wrong end of.
Didn't you pick Cleveland last week?
Well, I definitely picked Cleveland, but as far as like
they should have won too. They should have won.
Yeah, but as far as like calling that the Chargers are always in these wacky games. And they're usually on the wrong end of the wackiness. But yeah, Cleveland absolutely blew that one last week. They're at home. They're kind of in a style clash in terms of what New England brings to the table. Run the football, play defense. Kind of one of those games. Kind of one of those 17-13 type of games on the horizon. Fortunately for Cleveland, Nick Chubb is a week-to-week monster on a consistent basis. And that's something that they have and the other team doesn't. So I like how they paid Njoku and they really made a concerted effort to get him involved in the offense this season. He's doing pretty well. I don't expect Cleveland to run away with it or anything like that. Can't really predict something like that on Cleveland's behalf. They haven't earned that, honestly. But they are the home team. I know Mac Jones may be back for New England. That helps. But I mean, it's got a Bill Belichick upset written all over it. Not even really sure it's an upset, to be honest. But I'm gonna roll one more time with Cleveland, man, and see if they sting me again. But I'm going Cleveland. Keep it short.
You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going.
Oh yeah.
I like Cleveland is a talented team, but I think a lot of times you limited by your quarterback. I think their offensive line is solid. I think they got the best tandem of backs in the NFL. They got good wide receivers. They got our Amari Cooper and is it Rashad Higgins or T? It's Rashad Higgins, correct? It's Rashad Higgins.
I don't think either.
I get them Higgins mixed up. I know they got a Higgins, a Cincinnati has a Higgins. I forget which one, but I mean they're competent receivers. And you said Njoku, Njoku make a lot of money. I don't know if he's getting 15, 16 million dollars worth of production out of it. But whatever, man. That's what it is, man. You can get somebody willing to pay it, man. I'm willing to cash the check, man. Whatever, man. But a lot of times you're limited by the quarterback. As much as I want to love Jacoby Brissett, and I was like, come on, Jacoby, you can't throw that. I'm saying that a lot of times in his games, it's like, and so a lot of times I think you have all the skill position players locked up. The defense is solid. Jadeveon Clowney is there and Garrett. They got a somewhat decent secondary. There's a couple of guys that's hurt in there, but I mean they're good defensively. They got gouged last week. I never thought Austin Eckler was Derrick Henry. Never thought that, but somehow Cleveland turned Austin Eckler into Derrick Henry. Dude had like 187 yards. I think he hadn't had 187 yards all season. So I don't know, but all I know is if if you got like a quarterback that's somewhat substandard, Belichick gonna make you pay for that. And on the other side of the ball, I mean, shoot, look, man, I'm a Bailey Zappi fan, man. That's my guy. I'm gonna go with the Zapster. Much as I love Mac Jones, because I rep out, the Tide, whatever. Bailey Zappi got the internet broke, man. So I'm gonna go with New England in a close game. Talent-wise, I would say Cleveland is significantly better when you look at the offense and defensive lines. When you look at running backs. I mean, I like Damian Harris, but he ain't Nick Chubb.
Well, Damian
he's not even Kareem Hunt. Let's just be real here. I call it like I see it. But I gotta go. I'm gonna go with New England. If no other reason, I just think Belichick will have the formula for how to whatever. He just seems to know how to do that Jedi mind trick or something. I don't know. He do what he do, whatever. So I got that one. So I got New England. You got Cleveland. Next game, please.
All right. New York Jets at Green Bay in Lambeau. The Jets are a young, fun team. Offensively, defensively, they're tough. They're stiff. Sauce Gardner. Love what they're doing over there. I said it last week, so I won't, overexerting that. But I like the Jets. I like what they're doing. But I expect Aaron and that team to bounce back at home this week. Just give me Green Bay. But do like what the Jets are doing.
Regarding that, now if you'd have told me beginning of the season, if you looked at this game at the beginning of the season, week 6, week 6, Green Bay versus the New York Jets, I'm like, Green Bay's winning that game 35-6, 35-13 or something like that. But it's so funny how things when you got a team that has sort of taken the thing and kind of have built it from the ground. They took that opening loss to the Baltimore Ravens. They look, how the Jets usually look. But they seem to get just a little bit better each week. They get just a little bit better every week and stuff. And look, man, if you consistently drafting first or second, third, or whatever in the draft, and you got a couple of first picks or whatever almost every year, you're gonna hit on some of them. And I know you mentioned Sauce Gardner, that stud cornerback from Cincinnati they picked up, and the receiver they picked up from Ohio State. Garrett Wilson. They got some talent, got some nice dudes on the offensive line. They get Zach Wilson back. There's something with this dude. He can play a little bit. He just needs to not be hurt and get some reps. Young quarterbacks need reps. Okay. Breece Hall had like 100-something yards, scrimmage yards last week. Stud from Iowa State. Probably one of the 2 or 3 best backs coming out of college that nobody really knew about. I don't know about Green Bay. I mean, it's like, and I saw somewhere, is Aaron Rodgers hurt?
I mean, from everything I've seen, he's going to play. So, whether he's hurt or not, I'm not sure that's going to actually deter him from playing. So,
yeah, I don't know because I'm of the opinion that can't continue to be what they have been. I got to go with Green Bay, man. Much as I'm intrigued by the upstartness of the New York Jets, New York football Jets, as we like to say. I think they'll make it interesting, dude. Aaron, you can't lose to the Giants and the Jets in consecutive weeks. I can't see it. I don't see it, man. I think Aaron Rodgers comes strong. I think Aaron Jones rushes for 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns. I think I got the Packers rolling.
Right. Next up, man, we got Jacksonville at Indianapolis. I don't have a lot of analysis for this game, honestly. Yeah. I'll pick a team for the sake of my record, so I'll just go with Jacksonville.
Go with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with you on that one. I'm going to go Jacksonville. I will say Jacksonville sort of let me down a little bit last week because just as you about to let them have, what they did to the Chargers, and then they kind of, they lost to the Eagles, but they lost like 5 fumbles in the quarterback's exchange or, quarterback handling, things that don't really happen. It was sort of flukish that you don't turn the ball over that many times. And I could say maybe once a game, maybe they had like 5 of those. And then I'm like, oh yeah, surely they're gonna smoke Houston. Yeah, no, not so fast. Houston gets them. They get their first win. So Indianapolis looked terrible. that may be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Offensively, defense has not been as good as advertised, but good enough to keep the games low scoring and kind of snoozer worthy. But I guess I'm gonna go with Jacksonville. Not much else to say about that. I like Trevor Lawrence. I like Travis Etienne, Zay Jones, and Kirk. I like those and their weapons. I like them with a week. Even though Indianapolis got 10 days off to prepare, I'll still go with Jacksonville. So we're both in agreement on that one. So we're going to the next game.
All right, Minnesota at Miami. As far as I know, we know Tua is out, but as far as I know, Teddy Bridgewater should be good to go in this one. They're at home, but I'm actually going with the road team. I'm going with Minnesota. I think I watched the game last week for Miami. They really struggled to put up. Granted, they're with their third string quarterback, who they pretty much played with the whole game. Teddy B went out on the first snap, so contextualizing that. But still, man, I think without Tua, they're really going to struggle to push the ball down the field with that speed. And I expect a lot of underneath stuff. I think that works to Minnesota's favor, actually. And offensively, I think they have a lot more firepower to work with, considering the quarterback to weaponry relationship. So Teddy B, Kirk Cousins duel in the backyard. I would go with Kirk Cousins on this one. So that's me, man. I got Minnesota.
Okay. All right. So you going with Minnesota? I'm gonna go same way. I think Miami's got the talent, but with the quarterback, we don't know if if Teddy B had a concussion, and they really because they know they wet the bed a couple of weeks ago with the Tua situation, and of course when Teddy Bridgewater on the very first play goes down, and we're like, nah, y'all ain't getting us twice on the same thing. We ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We're gonna sit your butt down. And so they went with the kid out of I think Kansas State, and it had a ripple effect because none of the weapons were utilized. Because you got a guy that he wasn't expecting to play none this season. I mean, so you get a game with Jalen Waddle, who a lot of people had in their little fantasy or had in their little prop bets or whatever to get so many targets. He get like 4 targets, 3 targets, like 2 catches, and it just throws the whole thing. The whole thing is thrown off. So I don't know if Teddy B is going to play this week or not. If it's not, I can't see them beat, like you said, Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna go with Kirk Cousins. Heck, it ain't Monday night, so what's not to like, right? So, and I mean, if you look at the talent perspective, if all things was equal, I'll probably go with Miami with the quarterback and stuff like that. But since we don't have that, and we're going with the third string quarterback against Kirk Cousins with the weapons they've got, I don't want to go through the litany of the weapons they got, but I got Minnesota winning that one. Probably not as close, but I got Minnesota winning that one.
All right. Next up, we got Cincy at New Orleans, the Andy Dalton Bowl. Michael Thomas is out again. Kamara's in, as far as I know. Lave is really developing well down there. And, they seem to be able to scheme it up, get Taysom Hill involved enough to, he had a big game last week, so getting him involved enough to have an impact on the game. Saying all that to say, we could look at it like Jameson and Michael Thomas being out may have a significant effect on the outcome to a degree, but I think, Dalton has enough to work with on the outside. He's got Jarvis, Juice Landry on the inside and slot. He's got Kamar. He got enough to work with to make it a competitive game, and they're at home and they get a chance to lean on that defense. We know since he brings in a lot of weapons on offense to any game. Jamar Chase is back in his old stomping ground, so I'm sure that'll be fun for everybody in attendance. He'll be matched up with Marcus Lattimore, so that'll be interesting. I think this will be a fun game. Be some quirky stuff happening. Taysom Hill making some big plays. Jamar potentially having a monster game. I'm kind of torn on it, man, to be honest, because I think it's one of those games New Orleans could squeak out at home. But I'm gonna just go with. I'm gonna go New Orleans at home. We'll just do
it. Who you got, man? Got to pick somebody.
New Orleans at home for sure.
Okay. I want to like Cincinnati here. I'm just not sure what kind of offensive line they rolling with. They really could have won the game last week against Baltimore. That was a pick'em game. They played well enough to have won that game. I thought they got silly in the red zone and tried a bunch of silly stuff today. I was like, what are y'all doing? Even though I was pulling for Baltimore, I was like, but I kind of cringe when I see, good offensive teams were supposed to be smart offensive play callers calling silly stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing with this? Calling like you taking the ball out of Joe Burrow's hand. What are you doing here in the red zone? And they end up with some silly stuff, So New Orleans has kind of been like a mixed bag of nuts this year. I don't know. I know they've had a ton of injuries, man. And I think you mentioned something about okay. So let's so I got Cincy in this one. So let's go on to the next game. I got Cincy.
All right, man. Baltimore at the New York Giants. We always offer superlatives week to week about what Brian Daboll's doing up there. It's pretty much noted at this point. They're 4-1. Do have them losing this week though. I think Baltimore bounces back and wins this game. So that's where I'm at with it.
Wink Martindale Bowl. That's what I call it. It's the Wink Martindale Bowl. Defensive coordinators got that defense looking pretty good. I got to go with Baltimore, but I think the Jets keep it interesting. That's a well-coached football team. They're not the most talented team. I'm talking about the Giants, but that's a well-coached football team. When I say that, they don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't miss a lot of assignments. They pretty much right there. But Baltimore, I look for Lamar Jackson to do. But Martindale knows Lamar Jackson now because he coached against him in practice for like years. So I look for that dynamic too. But I got Baltimore in a close one. Next game.
All right, we got Tampa at Pitt. Man, this is going to be Mike Tomlin's first losing season. I'm definitely going Tampa on this game, but man, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, Yeah, I got Tampa in this one. I feel sorry for the Steelers because I think I thought they was gonna kind of compete a little bit, but your quarterback, you changing quarterbacks midstream, yeah, it's kind of whatever it is. And let's just be honest, Cincinnati don't have they long snapper. They ain't won a game. They wouldn't have won a game this year. They'd be on 5. Let's just be honest. Let's just keep it funky. Then if the long snapping out there, they ain't beating Cincinnati because what's the dude now? He don't miss no kicks. I said it on my show, on my podcast, on my show. I got Tampa. I got Tampa, and I don't even think it might be particularly close, but I got Tampa. Let's go on to the next game on that one. Something with a little more meat on it.
I don't know if there's more meat on it, but it's Carolina at LA in SoFi. We all know Matt Rule was let go and paid handsomely to leave.
Shoot, can I get fired?
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, I think there's coach gets fired. It's anticipated to happen for a while now. It does happen. Looming talks of a fire sale, So
Been hearing about that too. Been hearing about
that hanging over the team. You expect them to have a little pride coming out this week and try and compete a little bit, but it's the Rams, man.
I gotta go with the Rams. Rams probably kind of licking their wounds from the last couple of weeks. They kind of got defensively handled the last 2 weeks by the 49ers and my Cowboys. Got handled, but I think they got enough in the chamber to beat Carolina, who's like you said, is fire sale. I hear DJ Moore's available. I wish the Cowboys gonna give him a third and go and get him. We're gonna need to score some points, but we ain't talking about the Cowboys. I got the Rams in this one. And I just think they get the ship righted this week. Next game.
Arizona and Seattle. The appeal of Kyler always draws me in week to week, man. I think this is the last week without D-Hop, so that helps.
Right.
Doesn't help tomorrow, unfortunately.
Doesn't help tomorrow. No, it does not.
I'm going home team. I'm going Seattle, man.
Okay. I've seen a lot of. I watched some spread shows and stuff like that. Did some analysis. I seem like everybody's picking Seattle. I think they played in Seattle, right?
Yes, they are.
I don't know, man. I wanna kind of believe in Pete Carroll and what they're doing because I've seen a couple of the games they won and Geno and his resurgence. But then they wet the bed last week against New Orleans. Come on, Seattle. I want to like you. Let me like you. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I'm gonna go with Arizona, man. I think Kyler Murray got something special. I know Pete Carroll, and they play them every year, so he knows how to defend them and whatnot. But I just think they're just a little better than Seattle is, and I think they're gonna. I just got a feeling that they're gonna go into Seattle and win that one in a close one. So I got Arizona.
Okay. 2 games of the week and possibly the 2 games of the year thus far are next. We got Buffalo and KC. Man.
Woo-wee.
That is the one. Well, it's the one of the two. It's 2 of them.
Okay.
I got Buffalo, man. Josh Allen, he gotta take that leap, and this is the guy that he got to show himself he can get a win on him. In NBA terms, it matters when a young team gets over the hump. They beat the old guard in the playoffs, and they realize, okay, we can do it. And then from there, you usually see a run from a team like where they beat the Warriors in their run, or the Thunder, young OKC Thunder in their run when they beat the Spurs and realize, okay, we've arrived. Michael Jordan back in the day, finally getting over that hump. Once you got to get a chance to get over that hump so you can see, okay, we can do this. So all that being said, and granted, I understand Buffalo's beating KC technically, but this is the one. You win this one in KC, and you show yourselves like we can do it. So I think Buffalo needs to win this game. I expect Josh to have a monster game because of that. And it's going to be a shootout, man. It's going to be a fun game. And, I'm not hedging, but I will say that's Patrick Mahomes on the other side. So he can do it to you, but I'm just going to go with the fact that I think Buffalo is going to be really turned up and inspired to win this game because they need to. So I got Buffalo, man.
Okay. That don't surprise me. To keep it brief, but I really don't want to keep this dialogue brief because this is a game that you could actually do a whole show on this game, actually. And it's interesting calling the Kansas City the old guard or whatnot. What is Patrick Mahomes, like 26? Old guard?
Yeah, well, that's the thing about winning young. Kind of like the Lakers three-peat.
Yeah.
They could be considered like the guys to get past, but Kobe's like 22.
Right.
Yeah,
Buffalo is an interesting team to me because I just think Josh. My only issue with Buffalo is I just think they're too Josh Allen centric. I mean, he's the leading rusher. I mean, he's not even running design runs. He just ain't nobody open. I'm just gonna take off and run. Y'all can't tackle me. Y'all can't bring me down. But in the long run, I think they got to come up with something else other than that because you're gonna get your quarterback hurt. So. But anywho, I'm gonna go with Kansas City on this one, and not because any particular thing, because I very seldom vote against Pat because I just think that dude's just special. I just think he can just he just, and with them being a little suspect in their safety, Travis Kelce is like rewriting the books. I never seen a dude catch 7 passes for 25 yards and have 4 touchdowns. I don't think that's statistically possible, but he did that. You squeeze 7 catches into 25 yards. How you even do that? That's like 3 yards a catch. How do you even do that? And they was able to win 4 touchdowns and whatnot. But I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I think it'll be a close one. I ain't got no analysis or nothing. I just believe in Pat, and I think it's a close one. And it's a hump that Buffalo got to get over. They get over this, and it's like, hey, the monkey's off our back. Nobody can beat us, but they can't. So, but I'm gonna go with Kansas City, and we'll see. But it should be the best game. I'm looking forward to that one, man.
Likewise.
3:25 tomorrow. Must watch TV. Next game.
All right, Sunday night, Dallas at Philly rivalry game. It's a big one. I'll keep mine brief because this is your floor. I got Philly at home, so what say you, man?
A lot of bad blood, because I've been in all the Cowboy chats. I've been in all the Cowboy creators. I've been in all their stuff, listening to their stuff, listening to the Philly fans and they content creators chats and stuff. A lot of bad blood, a lot of name calling, a lot of stuff, and then amongst the players, with DeMarcus Lawrence, I don't want to hear nothing else about no daggum. Jalen Hurts. He ain't played us yet. Okay, all right, D-Law. Don't get okey doked on the zone read down and let my man gash you for 25 yards. I don't want to hear that now. I don't want to see that. You talk it, you gotta walk it. You know me. That's what I said. I don't mind you talking it, but you daggum sure better walk it. He pull the thing out and run past you for 20 yards. I'm gonna be looking at you like you talked it now. Don't back off now. And I'm gonna echo what I never thought I'd be echoing Mike McCarthy. I never thought I'd be getting a soundbite from him. Mike McCarthy said before the game last week, "We ain't nobody's underdog," and I'm like, and the team rallied off this. "We ain't nobody's underdog," and I'm like, "Go on, Mike, go on." Jerry tell you to say that? No, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm going. I got to go with the Cowboys. I think their defense is ferocious. I think they're gonna get after it. They're gonna make Jalen have to put throws in between things. He's gonna get a couple of them gonna get tipped, picked, I got the Cowboys winning. Should be a good game. I don't think it's high scoring. I think it's like 17-13, 20-17 or something like that, because I think it's going to be a lot of hitting. And it's going to be physical. Might be a personal foul or two. It's going to be a game. But I got the Cowboys winning. And, and we go to 5-1, and Dak come back in a week or two, and that's what I'm saying. But that's all I got on that one. So what's next?
I'll say this, man, just real briefly. It's gonna be interesting if Dak suit up. Not gonna start, but be interesting.
They've been kicking that around. That's been a buzz about that. Like, dude, do not put him out there against them dudes. Do not do that.
And if he's in uniform, and he's not gonna start again, but if he's in uniform tomorrow, it's gonna be interesting. But for the fourth time already this year, Denver Broncos are on national televised programming, Monday Night Football again, up against the Chargers in SoFi. I got the Chargers, man. I have a never mind.
You see how I'm looking at you, right? You see how I'm looking at you, right?
Just no. Look, give me the Chargers on this one, man.
I know they put this together before the season. I know Russ coming there was like, yeah, whoa, he Broncos. Okay. I was excited too. I was one of them. I was all in the Kool-Aid, but like, no, dude, enough with the Broncos on national TV. Okay, enough. Yeah, I got the Chargers, man. I got the Chargers winning and righting the ship or whatever. So what's next game?
All right, that's the whole week, and then of course we pick the upcoming Thursday game. We covered that one as well. So
that's the Saints and is it the Saints and somebody? I had it. Dude, don't let me start guessing. I got it wrote down.
Oh no, I got you. We got the Saints at Arizona.
Okay.
That'll be the first game back for DeAndre Hopkins. It's going to help that offense tremendously.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: when he's on these kind of suspensions, is he able to practice prior to a week before or whatnot? And
I believe
how's that roll?
Well, because of the nature of his suspension, I don't want to misspeak. Because as we saw this week, Deshaun Watson was able to reintegrate back into the team somewhat. So I don't want to speak about that particular element. So I don't know. But as far as picking a game, man, I'm gonna go with Arizona at home in that one, actually. Right. So yeah, that's what I got for that one.
I'm gonna go the same way. I'm gonna go Arizona on that one as well. Like I said, I think them getting Hopkins back if he's able to practice, they can get some rapport because you don't just pick up where you left off. You got to kind of and so I think that's gonna be like I got a guy I can just throw it down there and he can go get that thing. You need it. You need 3 or 4 times a game. You need to just look. My guy can just go get the daggone football. He's one of them dudes, and then he runs nice routes and does other stuff too. But sometimes it's 3rd and 10, and down the sidelines, throw it up. My guy can go get it. Hopkins gives them that. Kyler Murray will be happy to have him back. I got the Cardinals winning that one.
Okay. All right, man.
That's the ducket. That's the ducket for this week, man. We look forward to a good day on Sunday. Come home, kick it up, get your Sunday dinner, whatever it is. Sit there by the TV, watch you some good football. And Sunday night, that's the game I'm looking for. And so that's going to be the course. Now, leading up to that, it's going to be kind of. They probably should have been reversed, but for Mike, that's the best game. But you know how that go. So anyhow, please like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. I'm signing off for my main man, TK. Good having you, man. Good talk this week. Look forward to continued talk. And, we'll see what happens on next week. You guys like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next week, man. God bless. See you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.